Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of I See a City, Todd Webb's New York. And this book is from Thames and Hudson. It's about 170 odd pages and the book came out in 2021. I think there was also a version in 2017, I think probably bigger than this version. But this is an exhibition that was in, as far as I can work out, about New York. And I'm just going to go through it. But before I do that, I've got a few other books in New York and I'd just like to quickly show. Of course, there's always loads of photographic books of New York. There's quite a few I've been looking, 1970s ones, 1930s. I would love to have them all. Unfortunately, some are quite expensive. So let's just go through. This one, New York in the 60s. Really enjoy that one. This one's very nice. Then and Now, New York Then and Now. Really love that one. There's also this one, Old New York in Early Photographs. And it's pretty good. Lots and lots of pictures, of course. But very different from, of course, and many of the shops have changed massively, of course, since then. This one's New York in the 60s. I love this one. Many of these I used to read in my local library, or my Springfield library as it was, and they had lots of photographic books, and I'd pour through all these. They probably had other New York books as well. I can't recall now. But this one was always very good. And also they had the 40s one as well. Very similar one. New York in the 40s, 162 photographs, really good. Now you can pick these up generally for reasonable prices, some £5, £10, probably more, I don't know. They've all been out of print for quite a while. New York Then and Now, probably a very similar title to the other one, but still, I think lots of different pictures. I might be wrong, I might look at it and say, they're the same. No, I don't think they are. New York in the 30s. This one obviously being Berenice Abbott, of course. There's lots and lots of books, The Change in New York, all those sorts of things, 1935, 39, still quite expensive. But yes, another one I think, oh, you know what, I must get that at some point. But this is obviously a slightly smaller version, but still full of some really great pictures. Whenever I look for any of these, I think, oh, I must go and get the other one as well. Still, let's just go for the book that is the whole point of this. I See a City, and I found this amazing. This is a lovely hardback edition. Just going through Amazon, usual sort of thing, looking, thinking, oh, books about New York, and just suddenly noticed this one. Never heard of it before, I have to say, and I'm really glad I picked this one up. The thing I like about these sort of books is I'm not really interested in seeing, I mean, it's great to see, of course, the Empire State Building, all those sorts of things. I mean, I loved when I went to New York, been a few times. But I really love the sort of down and dirty streets. And this is sort of the thing, and of course a lot of that's been cleared away now. There's obviously still a fair amount of those really lovely broken down shops, or shops that have been there for 100 years. Just amazing thing. Sort of things you'd think that will be in London. Doesn't really, there's a few places in London where you can go around St James or something, you can get these really lovely old shops, but they're all super expensive. But I like the sort of shops that have been there for 100 years, locals go to it, and they're just great places to go and sort of soak up the atmosphere. And this book, I think, covers lots of those sort of places, pictures, but of course they've all gone, most of these places. Of course, the reason being, I always love the combinations as well. Quite often when you look at the pictures here, restaurant, television and beer and whatever, whole heaps of different, quite often you see buildings that have got like 15 different things in. You think, really? They really covered quite a bit. And this sort of thing, these sort of streets where look, artist materials, of course, artist material shops still exist. Record collectors' items shops. I mean, I would love to. Just when you look at these pictures, you think, oh, wouldn't it be lovely just to suddenly walk into the photo and just sort of explore some of these things. Of course, there would be classical records, I assume, and mostly it says here popular and classical. So records, specialists in hot jazz, foreign, and hillbilly. Just lovely classical, foreign. And of course, you can just about, and this is always the annoying thing, is quite often you can just about make out the various details down the bottom there. Friday, something March. Don't know what it says. No parking. But still, this is just full of those sort of pictures. These one, quite a few of them, sometimes at slightly different views of certain streets. So you sort of see the same shops sometimes, the same places. But they're just fascinating. I love these sort of things. I can spend hours just looking at these sort of air-cooled air permanents. I have no idea what they even are, but they're still fascinating. And I just love the writing as well. The writing, the lettering is just superb. Sometimes you can't make it out. You've got like here, this one obviously arrow shirts. Now do know of Arrow shirts. They were, and still, I'm certain, very popular shirts. But I think that was in the 60s. Obviously, mods, Arrow shirts were immensely popular. Still, you've got here some of it. When you look at some of the back bits, you just can't really make it out. But luckily, there are other photos that sort of go at different angles, so you can then work out. Thing I love, and there's not a single one actually, which is quite surprising. Newsstands. I love newsstands. When you look at something, you think, oh, Superman #1 or something in the sort of picture, and you think, wow. But still, it's got a great introduction, got a lovely, and it just talks about all the various things. Because of course, New York, like London, like everywhere, is always in a state of changing. I go up to London virtually every couple of months, and every time I go up, I think, was that there for? I'm set. You know, you think, what's happened to XY shop or place? Suddenly you've been knocked down, and it's just replaced with something else. Most of the time, we're not as good, but still, it's always in a state of change. And I'm certain in a couple of 10 or 15 years, it will be knocked down again, and then it starts again. But still, just I love this one. There's got some kids there, see, with guns on the street. You think, can't imagine that would be something that's, but still. But these are quite amazing. Look at that. It's just an amazing shot there. But I love that when you see all the snow and things. Whenever I see those ones, there are always pictures of snow in New York. I can well imagine bitter cold. I remember going to New York, and the wind was it was about February time, and the wind was it was so cold. It was like the coldest I've ever been. It was blasting in my face, and it was just like, woo. And yeah, I went to New York that time, and it was like the hottest it's ever been. Half my skin fell off because it was so hot. But it's still just, I love these, again, all these places. And this is the sort of thing, just walking around all these back streets. And I love walking everywhere. Literally, that's the problem, actually, because, of course, you walk everywhere and it's baking down the suns. And, of course, being in the UK, wasn't really used to it. And you think, oh, where's all my skin gone? But it's still, Coke. I love all the Coca-Colas. I'm not a fan of Coca-Cola drinks and all those sort of things, but it's just great seeing all this, you see the signage and everything. You look at it. Quite often, it might only be like about fraction of an inch of a picture, but it's just so stunning. I always love the rain as well. Though I don't like rain, I must admit, but I love photos that are set in the rain. It's weird. Not really a keen fan of rain or snow particularly, but it is just fascinating seeing them. It just creates a certain different light in the photos. This one's 3rd Avenue. And it's just full. You've got lots of people, obviously, in the streets there. That was one of the things I remember when I went. First time I went there, I literally walked out my building and I walked over someone that was obviously on the floor, but I assume was dead. I don't know, or was not in a good state. And you think, not something particularly useful, but you've got certain characters sort of obviously slumped over. But still, obviously that is the case in every city. But it was quite a shock when I first went there. I don't think I've ever seen that, certainly not in London at that time. And it was quite I love these ones as well. You've got here, Hans Gifts Novelties, and you can just about make, obviously, this one, well, it actually looks a bit like the same sort of logo as a certain other company. Oh, next door to it, talk about, what's that name? Woolworths. Of course, you've got Woolworths there. I love those ones, Woolworths. Always, that was the first shop, I think, one of the major shops when I got to New York first time. Rushed over to Woolworths, as you do. And of course, we've got Woolworths in the UK, but it was so different going in that Woolworths. And I still remember it now, just going through that store. It was just amazing. I loved it. Okay, I mean, maybe other people don't feel nostalgic about New York's Woolworths, but I thought it was just really brilliant. But I love, like I say, all the different things. And this is the things. You've got loan office there. You've got money loan, overcoats, ladies' fur. You've got a whole range of different things. There you've got diamonds, watches, probably loads of other stuff. Tools, brushes, radio cameras, etc., etc. Just a vast amount of things. And those sort of shops, you just think, we had quite a few of those sort of shops. Now they've all gone. But it's still quite saying the best, and sometimes you can't work it out, best glass something. And you've got these ones, photo studios, fish markets. Oh, Hester Street, Suffolk and Hester Street, I remember going down there. And you've got loads and loads, just brilliant photos. Oh, I don't know what that guy's doing, just climbing up there. I assume he's selling stuff. All these sort of shots, again in the rain. What's on the rain? Somehow it's just really brilliant. Got all the cars, they're all crunched up. And they all look exactly identical, going different directions. It's very confusing, that picture. That one is 1946. Quite a lot of these are 1946. Some are 1946. Some of you look at some of the cars, is what you've got there. That car there looks a lot older than 1946. And obviously a Model A, as it says there, Model A. Ford, I assume. I don't know. I'm not into cars. I don't know, but I think that's obviously a Ford. Greater New York furniture, quality furniture at the lowest prices, cash, complete home furnishing, credit. And then you've got all these other ones above. Bed, spring mattress and things. You've got all the various. And I love all looking at the prices as well. You think 29 cents or $17.50 or bedroom suites, $29. We solve your furniture problems, apparently. Brought, sold and exchanged. Now, maybe some of these stores are still there. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But it's like these sort of things. Soda, Horton's ice cream, and you've got Coca-Cola, delicious and refreshing. And actually, that's the closest one to a newsstand. You've got a little newsstand there. And it's, I can't make out the papers. They all look like different foreign papers, maybe. I'm not certain. There's certainly no comics on there anyway. I can't make out a comic. Got all the sweets and things. I remember the sweets. Piles of those. Drink Coca-Cola. Lots of Coca-Cola adverts there. Soda. All the washing there. Terry's Diner. Now, I mean, maybe these are all institutions. I mean, you've got that one there. I mean, just look at that. Just brilliant. Steak and chops. Terry's Diner. Buy war bonds. Pierce Arrow. Oh, this one's quite a good one. They got slum clearances. So you've got slum clearances. Fat Man Shop. Don't think they wouldn't have that advert now. There you got 46th Street, 1946 restaurant. Oh wow, extra beer, new stock, tailor shops, lots and lots of shops. This book is just, if you're into sort of shop, which I love, all those old shops, be sure. It's a pretty good one. You got all the writing on the wall as well. Be sure your sin, etc., etc. Genuine Chinese cooking. Oh wow, and that one's something. Again, trouble is quite often with these black and white photos, very hard. And you really have to look at it in different light just to work out what it says. I can't make out the name of that, but that's in Mott Street, apparently 1946. Again, 1946. Paradise Billiard Academy. Not certain what that was. I assume that was just. But this, I love when it's advertising, obviously, of films. Wild Harvest, Alan Ladd and Dorothy Gilmore. This one's King Cole Trio. Connie Haynes and Bob Evans, Randy Brooks and his orchestra, no less. And this is Macy's. No, 1947. This one. But you got model again. All these lovely shops. Siemens. What's this one? 20,000 suits. Wow. Laundry, uniforms, tailoring, 24-hour service, new and used clothes. That's Leonard Roberts, maybe. South Street. Whitehall Street, that was in. Not so interested in these sort of pictures. I mean, they're still fine, of course. They've got Centre Street, Leonard Street, but they're not so interesting. There's some that are like that, that's quite interesting. Ones where it's sort of a very, I don't know, weird. There was one that's Slabs or Tombstone or something it was called. When I was flicking through this, oh, I thought that looks staggering. And you have a few streets like that in London. You go to, and you go there on a summer's day or something. There's no one around, and you can look at the streets and you think, wow, they just look completely odd. They don't really fit in the sort of London of now. It's sort of like 1960s London, 1950s London, to me anyway. Maybe I'm just imagining it. Probably add in some extra imagination to it. But I think this book is just staggeringly brilliant. I loved it. You've got all the details there on the back. This is photographed New York City day and night. And I love pictures. And I would love to see a lot more books like this. Be great if they would. But still, everyone that comes out, I'm always happy to pick up. I say I would. There's a few I've noticed just going through Amazon just now. I thought, oh, that looks interesting. That looks interesting. But you can't get everything. I did order one. So I thought, oh, can't resist getting that one. But some, well, who knows? But still, this is a really, really good book. Very, very sharp quality pictures. I love this one as well. Again, this is the sort of thing I love. Look at that. Battery Taylor, cleaning, press dyeing, repair, all these sort of signage. Actually, you could have a book of signage would be brilliant. And this one, Optimo Cigars. You've got greeting cards. You've got Pepsi Cola there. Checks cashed. You've got Prince Albert pocket size. Prince Albert, I don't know what Prince Albert was. I'm certain someone will say. You've got Coca-Cola again, always good. Candy, cigars, cigarettes, films, pipes and tobacco. You've got a jewellery shop next to it. Tailors there, dress suits cleaned. Have your suits pressed here. See the difference. Again, black and white ones with the rain and that sort of thing. Always great. Anyway, I love this book. I See a City. This is if you love New York photography, I think this book is just definitely for you, because it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it's a nice, hard, real nice quality book throughout. So I See a City, totally recommended.